Hi, welcome to our Monday market update here in Tehaleh, live from Seven Summits Lodge, right here in Trilogy. And excited to kind of get back into things here. The market's kind of interesting right now, and share some stats with you, some graphs, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have. My name is David Sturm. I'm a real estate agent in Bonney Lake, and we sell homes and buy homes. We help renters even everywhere from the lake to the plateau, and we've invested in the community ourselves. We're a local agent. We always suggest you don't use us, use some other local agent to help you get the best deal. It's crazy out there, but deals are getting done, and it's all on how what your team looks like, from your lender to your financial advisor to your agent. So anyway, let me get into the numbers. There are 86 active listings right now. 33 are new construction, and 53 are resales. So activity is remaining uh, pretty good, and we should see that stay steady at least for the next 2 months. Not only for seasonality, but just because the market continues to be so hot here in Bonney Lake. There were 21 homes sold last week. Five were only new construction, 16 were resales. Of those resales, one here in Tehaleh was on the market for 30 days, and it sold for $869,995. At five bedrooms, three baths, 4,300 square feet, 6,000 square foot lot. It actually sold for 10,000 below list price. So that's a little hint of what's going to come here as we get into this. We see some softening. A few buyers out there, they're looking to move. Pending, 262 pending. We know a lot of that is new construction. That's kind of what's driving the Bonney Lake market, and Tehaleh specifically. We've seen a lot of price drops recently, significant ones too. I think it's a little bit of price dreaming for sellers. They're trying to take advantage of the market. It's maybe not having a local agent to help you price correctly, because it needs to sell within the first 10, 20 days here. If it doesn't, you're kind of a steeper discount for sure. Anyway, we've seen $50,000 drops, 40,000, 5 or 6,000, but there are about half a dozen homes here in the area that have dropped in price, which is very rare to see. And then people then assume, is this a housing bubble? I get that question all the time. It is not. There's a lot of difference between 2006 and now. For instance, well, let's get to some charts, and I'll go into that. And I think if I remove this, it might be best. And I'm going to share um, our graphs here that I think will will kind of help point out where we are with everything. This is active listings here in Tehaleh, and you can see that they've actually been ticking up here. And we see from history that September and October is still going to be good listing months before we hit the November, December, January dip. So if you're a buyer, this is good news. If you're a seller, this is good news. There's still a lot of activity to come here in the next 2 months. And we highly recommend that. And that's what I was talking about before, is that this is not a bubble. 2006, there were 376 billion mortgages that were issued for people with credit scores underneath 620. Can you believe that? In 2020, there's only 74 billion in mortgages issued to people with credit scores under 620. So financially, people are in a much stronger state. Two, people aren't pulling the cash out. They are refinancing, but they're not pulling that cash out. They're sitting on a ton of equity that will help manage any kind of everflow in the inventory or the market itself. So in 2006, there are almost 5 billion with equity less than 20%. Now there's 8 billion with equity of more than 20%, or at least 20%. Both of those at least 20%. And again, third, it's supply and demand. In 2006, there was an oversupply of inventory, if you remember, with 10 to 12 million units being built a year in the United States, then all the builders just stopped building, and we're still trying to recover from that. That's a long discussion, but there's only about 6.5 million homes being built in the last decade, far below what's needed. But suffice it to say, it's supply and demand. Prices are going to remain strong. They may not be. We're not seeing the 12 multiple offers. We're not seeing price escalations, 10, 20%. But we are still seeing a very robust seller's market. So there's still time, if you're a seller, to take advantage of this market. If you're a buyer, interest rates are still dropping and are still historically low, of course. And if you got a good, savvy agent and who can negotiate the best deal, we'll get it done. We had a client come in from out of town and from Los Angeles. Actually, within 3 days, he had an offer in and accepted on a house. Got him in touch with a lender, got his pre-inspection done, and with local agents involved, we were able to get our offer accepted. So it can happen. The next slide is months of inventory. Again, in September, it's jumped up. We expect that to remain strong. And we want to point out here, this is Tehaleh. I think we pointed this out before. This is the phase 2 map. You can see down here, this is the phase 2 section. Only 2,500 homes have been sold here in the villages, the first village here. And this one, we've got another 4,000 or so homes to be built. And these little lots here are also developments, just not part of Tehaleh. But the last section of Trilogy, which Trilogy is right in here within Tehaleh, is a Trilogy, which is 55 and plus older facility, group of homes rather, that very active adult community we live in. We love it. If you haven't heard about it, glad to tell you more about it. But the final community, it's going to be called Mount Olympus. So this is Mount St. Helens. This is being built out right now. This is the Mount St. Helens neighborhood. These beautiful home sites along here. This is going to be a green belt. This side's going to be a green belt. There's a pond right here. This is a very exciting time for us because these are all new lots. People have been waiting for these lots. And this is the last section of Trilogy that's coming available. It's about 55 home sites in there. So anyway, if you're interested in learning more about what it's like living here, please reach out to us. Karen and I are here all the time. We're showing people around. We'll introduce you to the right builder. We'll get you set up. If you don't have a local lender, we will suggest a local lender for you. We've got local vendors here to help you with inspections or anything else you might need. But we'd love to show you around. Give us a call. See the number below there. Just click on that number below, and we'll get you set up with a tour. We've got a couple scheduled this week, and I'm sure we can fit you in if you're seriously thinking about moving here. Reach out to us, and we'll go from there. If you're a seller, reach out. We've got our How to Sell Your Home Quickly guide. Glad to send that out to you, and we'll see you. We'll see you when you get here.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Nick. Happy birthday.